So today we're going to talk about CDP, which is Cisco Discovery Protocol. Okay? So, what is CDP? Alright, now I've given everybody a handout. Alright? So CDP is basically a broadcast-based protocol. And what it does is it finds all your connected devices. Everybody with me so far? We call it directly connected devices. So for example, router A is connected to router B, and router A is connected to router switch what? A. So if we click on this here, so let's go ahead. Let's start doing some of the commands. So, if we go down the line, alright, so the first thing we want to do is look at CDP. So we want to go here. We're going to go to router A. Okay? Let's go into router A. So now we're on router A. If we type the command show CDP, this shows me that what? My information on CDP. So what does it say? Global CDP information, right? Sending what? CDP packets every what? 60 seconds. It sends a hold down value of what? And what version of CDP are we using? CDP version what? 2. Alright? Everybody with me so far? Alright. So, if we want to, so let's go ahead now and see what CDP does. You can type the command show CDP NEI. NEI means neighbor. If I type NE, it says neighbors. So if I hit enter, it's going to show me what? Which devices are connected to router A? Switch A, router B, and router C. Has everybody got it so far? So CDP shows me who's directly connected to me. I've got the directly connected devices. Everybody with me so far? And if you look over here, it also shows you what? The ports which it uses to connect to them. Is everybody with me so far? Has everybody got it? Now this is on your Cisco exam, so this is something that you want to know. Is everybody with me? Alright. So the key now is, now we know what the CDP neighbor is. Alright. We're going to go and see how to enable and disable CDP. Okay guys? So we're going to go and see how to enable and disable CDP. So let's go ahead. So we want to disable CDP on the entire router. So first we got to go to config mode. So now I'm in config mode. Alright. This is on the third slide that you have, guys. The first slide that you have, the second slide, the third slide. I think it's slide number, it's on page 5. So if we want to disable CDP on the entire router, we type no CDP run. So CDP is now disabled. Let's go check and see if it's disabled. So now I could do show CDP. Is CDP enabled on the router? No. So I just disable CDP on the router. How do I turn CDP on the router? Nope, I type CDP what? There we go. CDP run. Alright, now let's check and see if it's enabled. So I'm going to hit the up arrow key. Do show CDP. Is it enabled back? So what we just did is we enable and then we disable CDP. Has everybody got it so far? So now there's another command called CDP what? Enable. Everybody with me so far? CDP enable CDP what? On the interface or disable CDP on the interface. Everybody with me so far? So if we type do show CDP neighbor. Alright? So now it tells me I have what? Router what? B and what? Router C. It doesn't show me what? Switch A. Right? Well, we'll look at it in a minute. Alright? So, what we're going to do is we're going to go disable CDP on serial what? S0/1/0. Everybody with me so far? So we're going to go and disable it. So we got to go into the interface. So we type interface S0/1/0. Now we're there. Now we're going to do what? No CDP what? Enable. Everybody with me so far? So CDP is now what? Disabled on that interface. Everybody with me so far? So let's do Control Z. And then we're going to do show CDP NEI, which is neighbors. Let's hit enter. Alright? So alright, so let's go and see. Let's see what's going on with the interface. So we turned it off on that interface. So it's going to take how many seconds? Show, watch this, CDP. How many seconds is it going to take before it works? Alright. Guys with me so far? Alright. So, let's go through some stuff. So you just learned some basics on CDP. So if somebody says, now for security reasons you want to disable this on the router. Everybody with me so far? So let's say you want to what? Clear the counters. There's a command called clear. CDP. I don't know if it's going to work on packet tracer. Counters. Alright? Because this is not a real router, if you type clear and you hit the question mark, alright? You see the command CDP, right? If you type CDP, you hit question mark, alright? You have table. So we type table. So we just clear CDP table. But back in the days we used to use a command called counters. So if we type show now CDP NEI, only switch A is still in there. The other two what? It's gone. Everybody got me so far? How long is it going to take to update it? 60 seconds. Alright? Now, let's go to router B. We're going to go to router B. We're going to look at some commands now. Now, there's some other commands that you could use with CDP. Everybody with me so far? There's some other commands you could use. So, EN. So, we're going to type the command show CDP traffic. If you want to see how the traffic goes between, come on, show CDP, hit the question mark, alright, the traffic command is not in there. Normally you could use the traffic command. It's not here because we're using a simulator. So let's type the command entry, show CDP entry, and then hit a question mark. So if you want to see the entry of all the routers, everybody with me so far? Everybody with me so far? You could just use what? The asterisk. Everybody with me so far? Which is 8. So now this is going to show me all the entries for CDP. So everybody got it so far? So it tells me everything that's going on with CDP on my router now. So look at this. Look how cool this is. This is now telling me the information. So this is the command that I type. Show CDP entry. So it's telling me device is what? Switch B, and it gives me the information on switch B. It gives me the version of iOS on switch B. Come on now. Is everybody with me so far? It tells me what advertisement to run. Then it goes to router C. So when I do entry, it gives me what? More information than if I do what? Neighbor. Everybody with me so far? So let's do another command. There's another command called show CDP neighbor, and if you hit the question mark, the command is what? Detail. Alright? The detail command does the same thing as what? The entry command. Is everybody with me so far? Does everybody understand that? So the CDP detail command does the same as what? The CDP what? Entry command. Entry star command. So let's look at this now. So now we're going to test out CDP on an interface. So we're going to type show CDP. So we want to see CDP on an interface. INT, you're going to say S0/0, sorry. We want to see show CDP on the interface. It shows me what? CDP is on the interface. It's up and CDP is running on the interface. Everybody with me so far? So that's another command I could use. I can look at the interface and see if CDP is running on the interface itself. Everybody got it? Alright. How are we doing? So, what are the commands we learned today? We learned what? Show CDP, right? CDP enable, CDP run, right? Show CDP neighbor detail, clear the table, right? Clear what? CDP table. Everybody with me so far? Alright. Now, there's other commands you could do. Alright? So you could do the CDP timer command. If you want to change the timer, you could change the timer on the router when it comes to the CDP timer. Is everybody with me so far? Alright, I'll show you guys something real cool. So if you want to do just a specific router, you could do show CDP entry, and then you could type the specific router that you want. Is everybody with me so far? So for example, you could type what? Router A. And it just shows me the entry for router A. Does everybody got it? Is everybody with me? Does everybody understand? So it could show me what specifically I want. Let's go to enable mode. Alright? Sorry, config mode. So if you type the command CDP, hit the question mark. It says CDP what? Run. Right? So if I type enable, alright? So let's go back, exit. Let's type the command CDP and hit a question mark. Anything happen there? No, right? Precisely. Alright? So these are things you gotta know. So if you do show CDP space question mark, it gives you everything that you could use with CDP. Right with me so far? If you go to config mode, alright, we type the command enable. Let's try CDP. Just type enable space question mark. You have passwords and secret. You guys with me so far? So, the question mark is your best friend in Cisco. So what we just did is we covered some stuff on what? Showing neighbors. Now there's some other quick commands you can use with CDP like debug and all that kind of stuff. We'll do that later on in another class. But as for now, we covered everything we needed to cover today. Are there any questions?